Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Barbie Talks. I'm your real raw Barbie, Deja, giving you everything real and raw. And today we have, if you guys knew the week I had, I think you'd be so confused why I'm so happy. But I don't know. When you get to a certain point, right? When like shit is hitting the wall. Then they're like, oh, you gotta just throw shit at the wall to see what sticks. When you kind of get to that point in your life where it's like, oh my God, so much is going on, but you're also so aligned with your purpose and your path and like what you're supposed to do and understanding why this stuff is happening. It's such a reassurance. Like this week has been absolutely crazy, and this has nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but just talking to y'all. Absolutely crazy, but I think for me, like I said, I think I had a quote where challenges aren't to show your weakness, it's show your strength. Challenges are literally to show your strength, show your resilience, show how you can show up for yourself, show how you can constantly show up in the face of adversity. So when you shift your mindset into that perspective rather than, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Oh God, it sucks. My life sucks. Everything happens to me. It's so liberating because now you literally are, okay, I know this don't have nothing to do with me. I know this don't have literally absolutely nothing to do with me rather than to make me better. Do you guys know how crazy that is? Like we should be thanking God, thanking the universe every single day that they give us an opportunity to become a better version of ourselves. And for me, when I had a few situations this week that really was like, whoo, I was really crying, y'all. I was like, God, I don't know if I'm strong enough. God, give me the strength. And in that moment when I was like, I need to do a meditation right now. I need to do a yoga. Like I need to just stretch and just be quiet and align myself with my body. It was as if I was told, you don't need it's there. I'm here. This is not for, it's not taking away from you. You're gaining from it, because in that moment of solace, in that moment of silence, I was able to reflect and be like, this is crazy, but this makes sense. This makes sense why this is happening this way, or this makes sense that I have to go through this. And now it's allowing me to, oh my gosh. You know how when they're like flip around time, I forgot the specific word, but basically like if you ask somebody to do something for you, if it's like professional, they're like, oh, I can get it to you in like a few weeks. That's the same thing with your emotions. And we don't realize that. And this is the first time I'm ever using this analogy. I never premeditated this. I never thought about it. I just thought about it now. It's the same thing with your emotions. How quick is your flip around time with when you are faced with adversity or something janky happens? Like, how quick are you able to like kind of flip back and stand back up and be like, okay, I'm good. I can go. For me, it took a very long time to have this like quick flip around time. I would be weeks, days, miserable, almost years, honestly, where I'm just holding on to this anger or holding on to this hurt and holding on to this feeling of why me? Why me? Why is this happening to me? And now when situations happen, if I'm crying, I'm purging my feelings. So I'm not suppressing my feelings. I'm not being avoidant. I'm not pushing them aside. I'm literally crying so I get it out, feel the feelings, say whatever I want to say, be angry, be upset. And then after I wipe my tears, I'm like, okay, let's do a meditation. Let's maybe just do some calm stretching and just get in line with our body. And now I'm seeing my flip around time with my emotions is so much faster because I'm able to have this relationship with myself where it's like we're not each other's enemies. The world is not our enemy. How can we resolve this problem? How can we allow this to grow and make me better? And shifting that way helped me so much. I woke up in an amazing mood today. Every day I was waking up good. The stuff that happened this week, ridiculous. Honestly, the past month would have had people like, are you good? Are you okay? Why are you not panicking? Why are you not obsessing? And I'm just like, hey, it's happening the way it should. It's happening the way it should. I'm good. I'm gonna always be good. I'm blessed and highly favored. Oh my God, my favorite line, this is so oh my God, so off topic. My favorite line from Little Tecca's song 500 Pounds. He was like, I was born to be blessed, and that's a curse. And I was like, wow, you're right. Like, when you really know you're blessed and you're chosen, well, like, sometimes it is just a curse because you just got to be like, can I really be mad? Can I genuinely be mad if I know that this is my endpoint, this is my purpose, and I'm a blessed and a chosen one? This isn't real. There's nothing for me to be upset about because this was meant to happen. So with all that, I say really practice on your turnaround time with your emotions. And in future episodes, I'll talk more about nervous system regulation. That's something I'm doing a lot of research about, talking about more in the psychology realm of your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system, which I told you guys before. Your sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight, and your parasympathetic is what calms you down. If you do not have those two aligned, if you're only working in your fight or flight, which is most likely going to be your anxiety, your stress, your rage, not allowing you to have that quick turnaround time, and you're neglecting that parasympathetic part of your body and allowing it to like reset you, calm you down, you're going to have a very anxious life. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But just a quick sprinkle of that. With this episode today, I really wanted to introduce a topic that has been talked about but not talked about. And okay, guys, I just peeped this. Before I started filming, I was supposed to delete things off of my camera. Kid you not. God strike me down. I seen my camera say 23 minutes. I completely forgot when I just hit record and all that stuff. And I looked and now it's at 53 minutes. Do you guys see what I mean? Like, so many people be like, oh, like that was coincidence. No. When you dismiss when things like this happen, you dismiss your purpose. You dismiss the beautiful co-creation that's happening with you and how it's helping you have your life. Like, I'm still trying to figure out ways to formulate this topic because I want it to be really clear when I deliver it to you guys. But I just seen 23 minutes on my camera. Now we're at 53. And what was I just telling you guys about when you know your path, when you know these are little minuscule things, right? But these little minuscule things, super tiny things that we constantly overlook or say coincidence, those are actually signs that like, hey, I'm here with you. Hey, I'm walking with you. Hey, you're not alone. Like, hey, you're on the right track with your path, but we want to label it a coincidence or label it, oh, this just happened. No, it happened because it's supposed to happen because you're supposed to be doing your stuff. God knew I needed to record this episode, so whatever he did to my camera's memory card ensured that I have more than enough time to film. You know, hopefully everyone who's listening to this can see the purpose in that and don't think, oh, it's just a coincidence. If you're thinking it's a coincidence, okay, it's a coincidence. But back to what I was saying with the actual topic, we danced around the topic of trust, but I don't think I've ever really dived deep into how I would want to execute trust and how important it is to trust yourself. Trust is the basis of absolutely everything. So many things in our world have been introduced due to the lack of trust. So many things have been introduced in our world due to trust. The list goes on. We can spend hours and hours and hours talking about this. But when it comes to trusting yourself, that's something that most of us neglect. And showing up for yourself is obviously the easiest way for you to build trust, but also having that time of silence, having that time of just reflecting on how your day went, reflecting on what you're grateful for, reflecting on what you want to improve in your life, reflecting on even just, hey, like, how am I doing? Am I good mentally? Am I good physically? Am I showing up in the way I want to? Mentally, am I showing up for the way I need to for myself? All of these small practices are ways to build trust. And when you're going through your path of trying to become your better self and rewire your brain, this is actually a really important concept that a lot of people allude to, but they don't go deep into it. You can't do this process and become your best self if you don't trust yourself, because you have to understand trusting yourself is trusting God. We are divine beings and we are such powerful creatures that come from an even powerful omniscient force. And do you guys understand how like a slap in the face it is to that omniscient force? Oh, I don't trust myself, so like, yeah, I don't trust myself. How can you pray for something? How can you ask for something? How could you want something and pray to that same being, but yet you don't trust yourself? And I think it's really a catch-22, you know? Some people be like, well, it is real or it isn't real, and kind of this back and forth conversation. But when we get so lost in the titles, in the technicalities, we actually lose, hey, all that stuff doesn't matter. I need to trust myself. If I don't trust myself, how can I trust anything that this force puts in front of me to either have as a blessing, have as a lesson, have as something to mold me into something better? You actually can't. It would be impossible. So trusting in God, trusting in the universe, trusting in however you want to refer to this omniscient, powerful force that is co-creating this life with us, you literally need to trust yourself. You have to get in touch with yourself. You have to know signs. You have to know when you're anxious. You have to know when to listen to your intuition. And is it your intuition or is it fear? Is it discernment? Or is it you're kind of self-sabotaging? And these are all things that develop when you trust yourself, because when you trust yourself and you're super unshakable, no one can tell you, hey, like, that's not right for you. Because if you know it's right for you and you trust yourself, you trust your judgment, no one can even stop you. Above that would be the faith portion. It's the same concept. You cannot have faith if you don't trust yourself and have faith in your own potential. These are very, yes, once again, remedial topics. Yes, very, once again, super baseline elementary school things I'm talking about. But since we label it this elementary school concept and just go with the societal norm, we don't actually reflect on what those things mean. What is it to have faith? What is it to trust? And how can you have those things if you don't have it with yourself? I cannot have faith that I am going to own a business or have a this, have a that, and I don't even have faith in myself that I can run that business. I don't even have faith in myself that I can have this opportunity. I don't even trust in myself that I can handle this. I don't even trust in myself that I am truly deserving of that. And when you realize that, you start to see life different, truly. You start to see life as, okay, this is a lot of in my head right now. This is a lot of fear, false evidence appearing real. This is a lot of just fluff to kind of like knock me off my game. Believing that faith and trust is exterior is the biggest disservice we do to ourselves as humans. You cannot receive anything that you don't trust or think that you are deserving of. If you don't trust, you're not gonna ask someone that cannot drive to try to, or someone that can drive, doesn't show up on time, or it's a crazy driver. You want to ask them to drive you to an important event, right? Because you don't trust them. But why do we still lack that same trust in ourselves? Why do we still lack that same purpose of, hey, letting that discernment tap in with our own self? But we're so quick to be like, oh, I don't trust that person. I don't trust this, or I don't have faith in that. But are you realizing that is that correlating that you don't have faith in yourself? Because remember, our life is just a mirror of how we feel about ourselves inside. This is just a reflection of how we're showing up for ourselves. So if you feel like you're surrounded by a bunch of untrustworthy people, is your discernment active? Are you trusting yourself? Are you having faith that, hey, the right crowd is going to come to me, or you think you kind of got to be around who you're around? And that can go to a different conversation of companionship, loneliness, and all that stuff, which we won't dive into. But I give the premise of that example to emphasize we're so quick to place the exterior, and allow that to give us reasoning on why we are moving the way we are. But when you shift that focus inward and you shift to understand, hey, maybe if I trust myself, I'll trust if I don't talk to this person anymore. I'll trust if I don't take this opportunity, the correct one will come. And then now when you show that you trust yourself, this same omniscient force is going to literally give you that exact trust back. They're going to give you that exact desire back. They're going to give you that exact thing you wish for tenfold, because you showing up for yourself. You trust yourself, because you trusting yourself means you trust me. Everyone doesn't like to be micromanaged, but yet we constantly micromanage our life. Yes, we constantly micromanage God, the universe, however you would want to refer to, that creator. And with micromanaging, it's so funny because as I'm saying this is literally flowing off the tongue, you guys. If you're on YouTube, my phone is on 2%, about to die. I have no outline. This is literally just me talking. Kind of as I just thought about that, like, yeah, we do micromanage God a lot. We do micromanage the universe a lot. And we tell it how it should show up for us, how it should help us. And it's such a dysfunctional, toxic relationship. It is such a toxic relationship because how can you tell someone who knows what's best for you? How can you show someone that you trust them if you're not even trusting the things they're putting in front of you? How can you have faith in something, faith in a relationship, and you're not even have faith in your own abilities? And once again, this stuff is not something you wake up like I just thought about this. You guys see when you get into this mode of constantly improving, shifting your perspective and rewiring your brain, you instantly have times like this. Like that just clicked for me. And when you get in tune with yourself and expand your mind, expand your perspective, you can hear these small little phrases. Even if you don't 100% resonate with it, it can just spark something that you can say that can resonate with you, that you can think of that will resonate with you. A new way you can show up that will now bring something that can resonate with you. Introduce you to a new idea that can now lead you to something that will resonate with you. I say this to say there is nothing you are losing by expanding your perspective, expanding your knowledge, and rewiring what you have been taught your whole life. It's such a blessing, and it is a curse, and we're not going to talk about that this episode. But there's pros and cons with everything. It is remedial. My favorite word to say on this podcast is remedial because a lot of things are so low frequency, so idiotic, so unnecessary when you look at it in the big scheme of things. So it is super remedial. It's unnecessary. But this comes with time, this comes with patience, this comes with love within yourself. So I always tell you guys, give yourself grace. I don't think that's something I'm going to ever stop saying. I think every episode I say give yourself grace because you do. I had my times when I didn't trust myself. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just thought of this. I would have times where I didn't even really want to take this episode here, but I'm gonna, because I just really feel called to. There was times where I would literally like, God, why did you give me this body? Why did you give me this skin color? I hate you. I hate you. You are the responsible for my life. Why would you do this? Why would you do this to my family? I hate you. I would commend God so bad. I would condemn God so much and so strong, so much anger inside of me, which was just anger. But it all was a reflection of what I was lacking within myself. And I'm so glad that I expanded my knowledge, expanded my thought process, rewiring my brain, because now I'm able to see the beauty and see the beauty in everything, every scenario, every situation. I am always in a winning mindset. I am never losing. And that comes with time, that comes with patience. And even the example that I told you guys in the very beginning of the episode, I have my moment to cry. Now when I get upset, I call it purging. I cry. If I feel like I need to cry, I cry. If I feel like I need to run and affirm, I run and affirm. If I feel like I just kind of need a calm stretching session, for me, stretching helps because I'm not very flexible. So it helps me kind of just soothe in my body and release any tension. All these practices are something that helps me, right? So find out what those practices are for you, and also find out, are you in the state right now where you are condemning him, if you're saying like, I hate what you're doing, I hate all of this stuff, if that is where you're at right now, because okay, now we have to reel it in, right? Now we have to identify what's going on in our life. Why do we feel this way? What is this for? Now that's when we can go back to the things that we spoke about previously, making the two lists. What's my job and what's his job? And I don't want to go too much because, as I told you guys before, I'm trying to stay on one topic in an episode, but take time to reflect. Don't be afraid of the answer. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel like you're doing something wrong. Don't feel like you're doing something right. Trust yourself. Do whatever you need. And my favorite thing, the last tip that I would give about trust, I say this to my friends all the time. They don't like me for saying this, but oh my God. Which is crazy because now I'm thinking back to it, and this one little thing was definitely the start of me changing my life. You know, when you ask your friends, like, hey, like, should I post this? Or like, what order should I post this? Or like, hey, should I do this? Hey, should I do that? You know, there's a difference between like, you know, asking your friends for advice and then like also like, okay, I'm literally wanting you to guide and like validate me through whatever it is. I stopped doing that. And when I stopped doing that, I started to trust my own judgment, trust that I knew what was best. Even today, I low-key called myself. I was like, oh, I kind of want to send this picture to my friend and like ask her about it. And I was like, no, I know this picture is nice. I know this picture is good. And I trust that I'm going to pick the correct order of however I want to post it. I know I'm going to correct the correct photo filters on it, not filters, but like actual adjusting the brightness, the dark, you know, all of that stuff. So super, super small, but when you start doing things like that, or even, hey, what do I want to eat today? And just take one big breath in and exhale, and then you'll get your answer. Or my favorite thing to do is heads or tails. I just say, okay, whatever this is what God, the universe, wants me to do. And not look for it so externally where now I'm kind of a tether to this validation or these people helping me, because I need to know how to do it on my own. I need to know how to trust my own intuition. And it's not saying that if you do that you're not doing that at all. No, that's not what it means. But if you're on the journey to try to trust, you want to trust yourself more, and that's a goal of yours, I think that'll be completely helpful. But that doesn't dictate if you do trust yourself or you don't. But once again, just being self-aware of your actions and like how you're showing up, because if you don't trust yourself, it shows up in different forms, and that's just that. So hopefully that kind of resonated with people and kind of can make them think differently. Obviously, it doesn't always have to be with a friend or like an outfit or picture or like food place or any like small decision, but that's what I would say. You know, we are at our midway point. I know I haven't been doing any crazy TNT questions or having our quotes. I have not forgot. We've just had a lot of sporadic episodes because the semester is getting heavy, but understand, actually, wow, this is a perfect segue. Didn't even plan that. Understand perfection is an illusion. Perfection is subjective. So even let's go back to the other example of like asking your friend to help you pick out an outfit, pick out an order for your pictures. That's still very subjective, right? You can kind of have a certain vision of how you want something to go, and then you say something to your friend and she's like, yeah, I don't really like that. Or I don't really. Then it's like, oh, damn, like, now, there's obviously differences when it's like, okay, girl, you look crazy. You're like, hey, don't do that. That's not what we're talking about. But, you know, if you feel like you have something that you want to execute, let's trust in that and just go. It doesn't need to be this version of perfect. It doesn't need to be your friend's version of perfect. It doesn't need to be society's version of perfect. What do you want to show up as? What do you think it is? That's why making your tomorrow your today is such a strong statement, because for me, I'm speaking off of experience here. I would hold off so many things, and as humans, we hold off so many things until it's the ideal time. It's never the ideal time for almost anything. Anytime you want to do something, you can find the excuse not to do it. You can literally find an excuse not to do it. And for me, this is something I'm still learning as a very, very, very type A perfectionist. It is hard. It is hard to trust yourself. It is hard to trust, like, hey, I'm not doing something too left field, while, as I'm saying, it's 333. Sending blessings and abundance to all of you guys listening in this moment in time that have made it to this point in the video. But yeah, if you're on YouTube, comment 333 if you made it this far. Only the real ones will know how long you made it in. But back to what we were speaking about, you will know, you will start to trust yourself. You'll start to be more proud of what you do, and then it will kind of make that, even though we know validation ain't real, that instant gratification, will refer to it as, when you do that thing and you don't kind of consult anyone, you just show up. It's like, oh, that's what you came up with. It allows your personality to shine. It allows you to be the person you kind of like always wanted to be. And it's so dope. It's such a nice feeling to be like, yep, I came up with this. And obviously this is not shooting down, like asking your friends or families for any opinions or anything like that. Once again, this is you self-reflecting. This is all self-reflection. Don't take everything what I'm saying for actual literal, oh, I'm not gonna ask my friends, no, it's not that. Take it for what resonates with you. Maybe, okay, maybe, she's saying it like this. Maybe I consider people's opinions too much. Maybe I don't consider people's, you just kind of take it as it resonates with you and what is curated for your life and your life goals. But do truly understand that perfection is really so falsified. Perfection is really so falsified. It's not a real thing. It's not. Whatever you feel like you need to do, you feel called to do, just do it. If you've been having outfits in your closet, wear them. If you had having pictures you wanted to post them. If you've been having business ideas you want to start them. If you've been having something you've been eyeing for a really long time but waiting for the perfect time, if you can finesse and finagle it, do it. Time is not forever. We get so entitled with thinking our time in our life is just infinite. It's not. It is the time to start now. And when you realize perfectionism is not a real thing, you'll start to see the value in time. You'll start to see the value of like, damn, I should have did that, or I should have showed up for that. Don't allow your vision of perfection to smother you so much in a universe and in a reality where you don't even get to express yourself. You don't get to show up for yourself in the way that you would kill to show up, but you're waiting for the perfect time. You're waiting for the perfect this. You're waiting for the perfect that. There's never a good time. The best time is today when you show up for yourself. That's the best time. You want to know why that's the best time? Because you just showed up for yourself. You just told yourself, hey, I'm in this with you. I'm in this race with you. You're not alone. You're good as you are right now. We don't need any improvements. We don't need anything else. We're good to start now. And it's so powerful, but you have to live it to feel that power. That's nothing that anyone can coach you through, talk to you through. You can watch 1,000,001 videos. This is not something that can be truly taught. It has to be experienced. It really is just when you're ready and you're tired of your life and you want to get up and do it. Or you're tired for I'll wait till I'm this weight, or I'll wait till I'm this to do. Just do it. It literally doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't. Like, coming from me who has struggled so much with so many different just random things, and just me regretting now how much time, and I'm young, y'all. Like, y'all know I ain't old. Me just regretting not showing up for myself because I was scared of how people would judge me, or, oh my God, am I gonna look fat in this? Oh my God, are people gonna think I'm ugly? Who cares? This is your life, okay? This is your life. You showed up for yourself. Not a lot of people show up for themselves. And we think a lot of people do, but they actually don't. So when you show up for yourself and you make yourself that one exception, you are so powerful. It doesn't matter the opinions of other people. It doesn't matter what other people think. You showed up for yourself how you want it to show up. A lot of people can't do that. So many people live in the societal norm, the beauty standard that they don't feel aligns with them. They show up in a way, they talk in a way just to be accepted. And it's not even real. But when you show up for yourself, you anxious. You look to the side, I'm going to wait. Wait for what? Why? What are you waiting for? And another thing for me that I had to realize, this waiting game is also such a slap in the face once again to whoever you would want to refer to God or the universe as, because it's like, hey, I'm not good. What you made ain't good enough for me to show to the world. What you made ain't good enough for me to really share with other people. The talents you gave me, I'm not talented. You know how much of a slap in the face that is? If you were tutoring somebody and you knew when you was tutoring them, they was getting everything right, they were getting the answers right, then they go to class and they're like, they don't want to participate or they just fail on purpose. Why are you failing on purpose when you know you got it? You know you got the talent. You know you can show up in that way. You know you're that person. Why are you doing that? Do not. Once again, the last, do not dim your shine for other people. That is what you regret the most. And I can't even refer to it because I don't remember the statistics, but in my psych class, we seen like what are the most things that people regret, and a lot of it was just yourself, not showing up for yourself, not doing the things you wish you could have done, not wearing that one dress you wanted to wear, not saying I love you to the people you truly wanted to say I love you to, but you were anxious on what they would say. You have one life, one beautiful life. Live it how you want. Show up for yourself. You have been blessed to you have been so eternally blessed with your talents, your gifts, how you are, how you look. And by being so quiet and honing it in, you're shielding it from the world. There's going to be so many people that accept you. There's going to be so many people that love you. There's going to be so many people that want to be friends with you, be around you, and know, hey, how did you do that? And you're so anxious because of this concept of perfection, of what you think it should look like. And yet, God and the universe looking down like, this girl crazy. She really thinking she can't do that, or she really thinking she can't this, or he really thinking this impossible when he got all the tools. I done gave him all the tools. I just thought of something, but I'm not even gonna get us off track. We be asking for the signs, y'all. We be asking for the signs. We be asking for, oh my God, should I do this? Then when we get a test to show us hey, you can show up in this manner, or we get a sign hey, take this opportunity and do this, we want to, I can't see, I'm blind. Now we want to be blind when we get the answers we want, because it's not the answer we wanted, because we know that answer that we truly want means we have to show up for ourselves. Don't be regular. Don't be a part of the 99%. Be a part of the 1%. Show up for yourself, do what others won't, and be the person you want to be unconditionally. Who cares, honestly? And this is going to lead us exactly into our last topic of just hire yourself. I said this to a friend that, she's a dear friend of mine. I truly enjoy her. Hey, girl, if you're listening. But I said this to her. She said it really resonated with her. Hire yourself. Hire yourself. How do you want someone to show up on a job? How do you want someone to show up for your hiring on for your business? How would you want someone to show up for you? Do that for yourself. Hire yourself every single day this week. Act as if you are working for yourself. Are you a slacker? Are you an overworker? Are you doing what you need to do in the office? Are you just a mediocre worker? Are you an exceptional worker? Are you going above and beyond? What kind of worker are you? So that's what I'm going to really end this on. Hire yourself. If you can't think of any other way to think of how to change your life, think about hiring yourself. Would you hire yourself if you were an employer? What you wanted to do in this world, are you showing up how you truly should be showing up, or would you fire yourself? If you think you would fire yourself, that's when you have to reel it back in, do some reflection, and realign with your purpose, your goals, and how you can get there. If you feel like you wouldn't hire yourself and you're not showing up the way you're supposed to show up, that's telling. And that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't feel upset. Don't feel angry. Just, okay, I peep what I'm lacking. I see what I'm lacking. I know how I need to show up. And now tomorrow, I'm going to be the best I can be. Every single day, this is one of my favorite quotes. If you take every day to become 1% better. By the end of the year, you're going to be 365% better than when you started at 1. When you're in jobs, you get trained. When you're in jobs, you still are learning every day on the job. It's no different with us. We want to make everything so external, like people have to help us. People have to give us handouts. People have to do things for us so we can get to the end mark. No, show up for yourself. Do it for yourself. This is a one-woman show. This is a one-man show. You have to do it for yourself. And when in correlation to that, when you show up for yourself, others show up for you even more. And especially when you're open to receiving, especially when you're open to like, okay, I'm going to let go of control a bit. I'm a vibe. Then that's when people are actually going to, oh, she working hard. He working hard. Like, let me see if I can help them out. And then since we already know the concept that life is a mirror from within, since you're showing up for yourself now and you trust yourself, now you know anyone that you bring into your circle, they're not even funny. They're not doing nothing funny for you because you're showing up as such an excellent worker for your own personal job. Now, anybody else who you're adding to that tribe is showing up just as strong. This is not a trying process. This is not a hard process. This isn't even a hard concept for real. Like attracts like. This is not, you're not going to show up in a good old fashioned way and happy go lucky and just stuff is getting thrown at you horribly. No. When those things happen, you're going to be able to discern, oh, okay, this don't work. Okay, this don't work. And you just casually move on. This is not a trying process. Like attracts like. If you take one day to become 1% better, that time when you started and you increased that 1%, by the end of the year, guess what? 365 days. 365% better. This is not up for debate. This is not an option. This is just truth. So, the $1 million question is, would you hire yourself? You don't even got to put it in the comments, but would you hire yourself? Thank you guys so much for always tuning in to Barbie Talks. I'm your real and raw Barbie, giving you everything real and raw. I hope you enjoyed this episode and you are ready to hire yourself.